We just lost your chain.
What was supposed to be an overnight, out and back easy trip turned into 4 days of mud, chains, and digging. And all I know is I didn't bring enough memory cards or batteries for this kind of adventure. During the spring and early summer, we have our sheep almost 6 hours away in another state. The feed is good and the sheep do good out there, but it's a long ways away. We have to take supplies to this guy just like all the other guys every 7 to 10 days. We left home late in the evening and didn't even get out to the desert until around midnight. Our plan was to hook up the camp in the morning, get it moved to the top of the mountain, come back for the commissary, bring it to the top, and head home. This wasn't supposed to take very long, but as you can see, that wasn't exactly how it went.
We're buried, both the truck and the camp. Can't move. It's a good time. Block her up so she can't go anywhere. Got to unhook her, winch this to the top.
Out where we run, there is no cell phone service, no other people anywhere close. If we have a problem, we have to figure it out. With the amount of snow we got out here this winter, there was still snow drifts melting and running right down the middle of the road. Even though the road looked mostly dry, underneath was the farthest thing from it.
We went to a tree, but it's too far off the side to keep going. So our plan now is we got to get to the top of this hill, turn around. We got to roll the winch back out, hook onto the front of the camp, and see if we can pull her to the top. It's going to be a good time. We're going to hook onto the front of this camp and pull it up to where we can back up a little bit. Slow, at least she's going. That's what I'm talking about. Well, we made it about 100 yards. And now he's stuck again. So, we're gonna have to figure it out from here. Bust out the winch, put on some more chains. It's a good day.
With snowdrifts still blocking the other roads up the mountain, there's only one way up and one way down. Once we started up the hill, there's nowhere to turn around and nowhere else to go back. With the herder's camp at the bottom of the mountain, he's a long ways away from his sheep and can't take care of them the way that he needs to. So one way or another, this camp needed to get to the top.
The winch has a solenoid that gives it power to bring it in, and the solenoid decided it didn't want to work, so we had to wire it across with a piece of baling wire, and now we're gonna go for it.
Like that. Go for it, huh?
Okay. Might take us till tomorrow to get to the top, and as soon as we get up there, we gotta turn around and go get the commissary and go do the same thing. So it might take a while to do this, but we're gonna win. And he's stuck. I dare say that worked pretty good. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Except for when we get stuck. Then she don't be coming around the mountain.
We ran the winch so hard we ended up melting the wire we had running the solenoid. So instead, we manually ran power through the solenoid with my broken pliers. Just when we thought we had it made, we would go just a little farther and sink out of sight again.
We just lost your chain. Okay. Just bottoming out on your back end. Well, we got the truck buried. We got the camp buried. We can't go backwards. We can't go forwards. We're stuck.
We spent over 7 hours winching, digging, and working to get about a quarter of a mile in the mud. With a long ways to go to get to the top, we realized we were going to need some serious help. With no phone service in this canyon, we had to drive over an hour back to the closest town and work on getting an excavator out to rescue us.
Well, we tried to make it up this road, and it's a riverbed, so it didn't work out very well. Made it all the way clear up around that turn, and that was all she wrote. We're about 100 yards from a flat spot, but it's so wet we just keep sinking. So get out, we parked the camp off the side of the road right there. It even is mostly level because we're that good. Now we're gonna get that down, and we gotta go get a mini X to rescue this camp and get to the top. It's gonna be a good time. Here we are, day 2, getting camps to the top of the mountain. It's been a long day. We had to wait and go get the Mini X, clear from another state. We got her here, we're walking her up the road now. We went back, got his commissary. Now we're just gonna park her at the bottom of the canyon before it gets kind of steep up here. We're gonna hook on to the truck, get all 4 chains on the tires again, mob up the canyon, see if we can hook onto the camp and yank her to the top with the Mini X. It's gonna be a good time. Let's see if we can get stuck.
With the road being so soft and muddy, we had to use the Mini X to carve out part of the hillside in order to have a flat enough spot out of the water to drive on. With the truck hooked up, we headed up the hill. 10 slow feet at a time. We used the Mini X to pull the truck as far as it could, resituate, and do it all again. Things were going pretty well until this turn right here. This is where the fun would really begin. I'd say that's a problem. I guess it could always be worse. We could be sitting at a desk somewhere.
top of the mountain here. It got pretty western, about tipped the camp over, buried the truck a couple times, had to do some digging to get out. It was a good time, but now we're just cruising up here to the top. Gonna go get his camp set up, it's just about dark, and call it a day.
It took a couple of days, but we were able to get the camp up to the top of the canyon where it needed to be. We took advantage of the fact that we had the excavator up on the mountain, and we used it to break through the snowbank that was blocking the road to the next campsite. We worked like crazy to get the camp through the mud, up the hill, around the turn, and to the top of the mountain. Now, all we needed to do was get his commissary from the bottom and up to the top with his camp.
We got the truck back down. We just had to build a new road because it's so wet, so soggy, so many holes in it. We got to make a new little trail going off to the right side. Side-by-side's buried down there, so we got to get it pulled out.
We used the side-by-side to shuttle some of the heavier things from the commissary to the top of the mountain, just to help lighten it up. Then we hooked on with the truck and headed back to the top one more time. With the road fixed up and a little more passable, we were able to cruise right to the top without getting pulled out too many times.
Well, it took us 4 days, an excavator, side-by-side four-wheeler, and the old red Dodge to get his camp and his commissary and all his stuff up here to where he needs to be. Now, we just got to get back down, fix the road, load the excavator, get everything packed up, ready to go, and have a 5.5 hour drive home. It's been a good time. Gotta love it.
It took a few hours to walk the Mini X down the canyon and fix the road, but we were able to level out the main road where we drive the semis, so now we won't drag bottom anymore. Because of a faulty fuel gauge, when we went to load it, we ran out of fuel. We were unable to start it and were stuck on the side of the trailer. We had to hook a chain onto the arm and balance it back and get it on flat ground again. With fuel in the tank, we fired it back up, got it loaded, and started the long trek for home.